Hey, Summit host, Dr. Mark here. Going to do a special behind the scenes walkthrough inside of the Virtual Summit software. Let me just make sure we are up and running, and we are. Hello. Welcome. Dr. Mark T. Wade here, founder of Virtual Summit Software, and kind of excited about this demo that we're going to do today. It's Tuesday. We do our live walkthrough of the Virtual Summit software, and I thought, why not actually show you inside of our summit that we've got kicking off right now called Summit Talks. It's going to be starting. We just started promo for it yesterday, and it'll be kicking off a little bit later in the week. So I thought, let's actually give a walkthrough of the software so you can see the software in action, answer any questions that pop up with that, but also see an actual summit running on the platform. So again, Virtual Summit software, you have not heard of it before. Virtual Summit software is the quickest and easiest way to host a successful virtual summit. You can actually get more information about that over at virtualsummits.com. And you can even get a full 15-day free trial, no billing information collected. So go check that out over there at Virtual Summits. You can get more information. You can check out all the incredible new features that we keep releasing. It's kind of been like Christmas. This year's been like Christmas. Almost every couple of weeks, we've been releasing new incredible features inside of the platform. So this is the Summit dashboard. I'm just going to assume maybe you've never been inside of the Virtual Summit software before. If you have, then you're probably familiar with this. This is our Summit dashboard. So these are all the summits that I'm either a host or a collaborator on, working on right here. And these, of course, are the summits that I'm speaking on. These are just the summits I'm attending or I'm affiliating at. I can go to those right there as well. We have our marketplace, which we announced a while back, which we just brought to life this year, which is pretty cool. It is where, as a summit host, you can put your summits. You can make your summits available on our platform for all of the attendees inside of Virtual Summit software to have access to check out the summits that are playing or the summits that are happening, and be able to register to attend for those. You can also see that affiliates can sign up to promote your summit as well. So that's pretty cool. We have our Help Center, which is foundational. It's important right here inside our Help Center. We've got a lot of amazing information if you got questions, as well as summit resources right there. Now let's jump into the topic of the day, which is our Summit Talks. So Summit Talks is our virtual summit that we've been running for a few years now. It's one of our favorite summits that we run. It's the virtual summit on virtual summits. So it brings in summit coaches, experts, speakers, teachers, as well as gives behind the scene look at many successful virtual summits. So just an overview here inside the platform. This is your summit navigation bar. This is all the aspects that you'll fill out to create your summit. Here we've got our summit details. We can see that the summit is going to be starting here pretty soon. Later this week, we've got all the details, the categories, the host is set, etc. Now we haven't put anything live on our post summit because we are running this summit, the summit series, for the first time coming up later this week. Now, here's the cool stuff. Inside of the summit, we have all of our summit speakers. They're all available here. We can see adding a speaker is very simple, very easy. We can see that these sessions have all been, the profile's been completed, the presentation's been added. We can see the ones that have not, if the presentation has not been completed here. So for example, we are still waiting on Jason. Jason, if you're watching this, get us that presentation over. But since we are still waiting on that, we haven't assigned Jason. And we can also make this just invisible here. So it's no longer present on the platform, which we'll probably do. So we can do that like that. And then we've got our presentation. So this is the speaker presentations here. I've got our global chat settings turned on. So that means the chat's visible and active. Just make sure all of these are turned on. But here's some of the cool topics that you're going to see inside of Summit Talks. If you want to check this out with us, you can actually participate in the summit. I'm giving you kind of a behind the scenes look here, but how to spread your message, start with your summit and spread your message. Evolve your summit into a sustainable, lucrative community, transform your business, create business momentum with virtual teams. And then we have a bunch of incredible virtual summits that you're going to be able to see inside of. Like the summit hosts take us actually inside of these virtual summits we see behind the scenes. So you're going to see like 15 different successful virtual summits. Some of these did 6 figures on their virtual summit. Some of them did like tens of thousands of leads, etc. We got the Content Marketing Summit, the Parkinson's Solution Summit. This is actually one of my favorite. Dr. Greg here did over $1 million that following year running this same one-day summit every month using the virtual summit software on EverSummit. We got the Keto Summit. We've got the Keto Summit actually did over 100,000 leads on their summit. It was insane. It was one of the biggest summits ever. Scaling for Leverage Profits. So that's there. We got High Performance Health Summit, the Podfest Masterclass Summit, Corona Summit, how to find affiliates and speakers. So that's a content topic there. How to get your summit sponsored. That's another content topic there. We got the Virtual Pet Summit. So they converted this summit from an in-person event to a virtual event. We got the Productivity Summit, Virtual Boot Camp, which was a 2-day virtual summit for attorneys. Here's a content session, how to easily engage your experts and your audience. Dream Practice Secrets, that was a summit that she did. Scaling within acquisitions there. Let me make sure those are on. We've got Sam is off. Going to get Lynn on here. And so you can actually see, you can set the sessions to have chat available or not at an individual level as well. And you might say, well, why would I ever have the chat off? Well, you may have the chat visible. Let's say I run this the first time. I run my summit the first time and I got a lot of interaction happening, but now I'm going to run it on EverSummit. So let's say I'm going to go in here after the summit ends and I'm going to turn it on and just have it run ongoing. So I'm going to use this as like a top of funnel ongoing forever. Well, I may not want to have my speakers. I may not want to have to go back every day and check for new comments, new posts, things inside of that, make sure that they're okay or respond to them. So I can go in here and just make chat visible, but not active, which would allow people to see it so they can see the social proof, but not respond on it. Or maybe if it's your sales session, if you got a sales session in here, you don't want maybe people to even comment on that. Maybe you don't want them to say anything. You want them to just be fully focused on that. We actually have a really cool session here. We got a fireside chat with Nick Unsworth. Their summit was incredible. We've got some speaker panels here. Ask me anything. And then I've actually got a couple sessions where I'm going to be doing like kind of deep dives on how to build out your summit. So I put the link inside of the post. If you want to actually sign up for Summit Talks and take a look at that, you can. It's a pretty epic summit. I think we've got around 25 speakers, 25 sessions. These are our email templates here. So these are like reminder templates. Now, I didn't activate GDPR because we don't need to have GDPR activated here where I'm at. But for example, if you're in California or if you're in, the Europe or Canada, whatever, you can activate GDPR. So checking out the schedule again, for those of you, I see several of you kind of popping on here with us. Hi. I'm doing a behind the scenes of our Summit Talk Summit, which is going to be kicking off later today, or not today, excuse me, later this week. We just started promos for it today. So I'm kind of giving you a behind the scenes look at what our summit is, how we built it, some of the things that we have going on. Just kind of focus or showed you here, just like every summit, there's no summit that any of us ever host where all of our speakers come through and we get all of the sessions. So one of the challenges that we face this time is we had quite a few speakers that pushed their interview back. They pushed their session. And that's the other thing, actually. So I don't love interviews. So we don't actually do interviews on most of my summits. Some of my summits we do, of course, but we do a hybrid session. So what you're going to see here is this hybrid session. It starts off with me introducing the speaker, and then we kick it over to the speaker and have the speaker teach for about 20 minutes. So I keep them short. I like to be like lightning round or laser focused strategy sessions. So the speaker teaches for about 20 minutes. And then at the end, I'll end up asking questions if I have any questions. So it's what we perceive or what we see is it provides a lot more value to our attendees. So they're getting a strategy session versus just an interview. But for the speakers, we're bringing the speakers on so that they have a set time with me in a session with me, which increases the likelihood of getting that. If I were to just reach out to these speakers and say, hey, I just want you to record a session for me and send it over, they may say yes, but like the follow through rate drops dramatically. So even with the way we have it set up, you will find out, if you haven't done this before, if you've never done a summit before, you will always have some speakers that, miss their time, they miss their schedule, something comes up, they try and reschedule. And then a lot of times, just like these ones right here, we didn't end up getting it. So what I asked them to do, the ones that were not able to show up, is I actually requested that they do a presentation, they record it and they submit it to us. And I recorded the intro and outro for us to patch together. But you can still see I have a couple people that have not gotten that to us. So you can see that one of the cool things with Virtual Summit software, this is the speaker information here, is you can quickly and easily see if a speaker, and we can sort by that as well. So I can filter here what is completed, or which ones profiles are not completed. We have all of our profiles completed. Which one of these, let's refresh this, which of our presentations are not completed. It should be popping up. Let me see here. Oh, it's because we created the presentation. We just haven't assigned them. So you can filter through different things like that as well. Let's see what's hidden. So this one's been hidden. So you can filter through it. So that's one of the really cool things with Virtual Summit software as well, is as you can see here with my summit that I have going on, I can see, I'm still waiting on Jason to get this to us, to get that presentation, or I haven't assigned it. So let's say maybe I got that presentation in, it was completed, but I haven't assigned it. Here's another little cool thing too. Let's see if we can find me somewhere. Let's see if I can find myself. Here I am. So you see the number here next to the presentation. This also shows you how many presentations that speaker has. So for most of these, you're seeing each of these speakers has one, but as the host, just put my name back in again, which is pretty cool because you can just search for the speaker. As the host, I can see I got a lot more presentations, or maybe you have some speakers that have multiple presentations. So now if we go here, so that was one of the challenges that I dealt with, was having a few of the speakers not show up for their times and not be able to get that done. So we can see here, this is our days, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. This is the scheduler. I can just pull from the speakers over here. We actually have all of the speakers assigned, so there is no unassigned speakers. And I can set the order of the sessions by just dragging and dropping that. Now, when our sessions kick off, what'll be cool here is I'll be able to see any of the chats that are happening. They will all show up right here. So I'm just going through and joining these chats. So that'll show up. What'll happen is there'll be like a little red number. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, depending on how many comments there are. And that'll show up right there. So this is where you actually manage the chat. So the global settings are at the speaker presentation level, which is where you set if you want the chat available. But at the scheduler, it's really easy to just kind of jump through day 1, day 2, day 3, and just scroll and see, okay, is there any comments here? And if there are, then you can manage those comments. So let's just see here. So managing the comments, there are no users live right now, obviously, but if there were the users here, I could go through it. And if I needed to, if somebody's being inappropriate or not correct, I could block those users. Obviously, I can change my profile here, change my avatar, etc. Change my name, which is automatically set. And what's cool is the speakers and the hosts, when they comment, if the speakers log in and comment as well, they'll show up. It'll recognize them as a speaker. So all of the attendees will see and can interact with your speakers and your host. So again, this is interactive live chat, which is really cool. So it happens in real time. It's all immediate, and it really increases your engagement inside of your summit. Okay, so the other thing with this is, you may have noticed, let me just finish these out, is that the session links. So this is important. This is really cool. It's one of the features, really cool features for us at Virtual Summit software that you can't really get at the other platforms, is how long do you want this to be available? So if I actually go inside of my summit here and check this out, I can see, oh, look, all of these sessions are locked. This is what it is like for the attendees. They'll get access to the summit. It actually looks like a summit. It's not just landing pages like all these other platforms. They just send them to a page that has like just the speaker on it. This is actually a summit where they can see all the different sessions. They can see all the different speakers. They can go through and bookmark the sessions. As they go through the sessions, they'll get marked as completed, which is really great for those attendees. This is the sales page here. Again, look at how beautiful this is. This sales page, 100% built on Virtual Summit software. Looks incredible. But what will happen is if an attendee purchases and they get the all access pass or whatnot, then they will have immediate access, and maybe they're going to watch these over the next week or two, and they just want to, they will be able to quickly see which sessions they've completed and which ones they haven't. So that's really cool there. What was I saying with that? Oh, the scheduler. So what I was saying about this with the software, what's really cool about Virtual Summit software is that it runs this like a summit. So it means you've got the sessions here. The software unlocks and locks the sessions based on the appropriate dates and time. But you can also, and you can set that right here. What time do you want those to start? But you can also set for how long they're available. So right now we have our sessions set for 24 hours, which means on day one, these sessions will be available. On day 2 at 7 a.m., these sessions will lock down. The software does all of that automatically. And then day 2 sessions will unlock. Now I could extend that. I could make these sessions available for 48 hours, which would mean day 1, and then day 2, once day 2 starts, day 2 is available and day 1 is available because it would be 48 hours. And then day 3, on day 3, I'd have the day 3 and day 2, and then day 1 would be locked down. So again, you have that option there. It's become kind of popular for people to give extended length to their sessions. And the reason for that is because it allows your attendees more time to participate and engage in your sessions, which if we do that, we know that that increases engagement, increases conversions. So we got our offers here. So we've got our main offers. So this is our on-demand pass. This is our lower tier. We have our middle tier and then our anchor tier, which is $247. So we're using the anchor tier strategy. There's a bunch of different strategies when it comes to summit offers and all accesses pass. There's the single strategy. There's the small, medium, slightly large. There's the decoy effect, et cetera, et cetera. We're using the anchor strategy. And I can see here, these are attached to the different tiers, which the tiers are set here. I'll come back to that in a second. And then we got our upsells. So anybody that purchases one of the offers will immediately have access to view these one-click summit upsells, which are pretty cool. We have our Virtual Summit Starter Kit, which is a registration bonus. And then we, of course, have all these other bonuses that are available here as well. So we got speaker bonuses, etc. Now at the tier level, this is where we set our access. So you can think of this as like the access that the attendees have. Well, since our summit is a free summit to attend, they're in the registration tier. And we have this synced up with our email provider. So we can see that's there. And they get that summit starter kit as a registration bonus. So that would become available here in their purchases right there. So I can see as a attendee, I can immediately download that. But all of these other incredible things are still locked until they purchase one of those summit offers. Now, here's our 3 other higher tiers, right? So we had the on-demand tier, we had the full access tier, and the immersion tier. So inside of these tiers, we have the offers connected to them, and then what bonuses they have inside of that tier. So offer is appropriate there, and then even more bonuses. And then we can see here, these are the summit upsells, and we put those in the order we want them so that the attendee will see interview, then summit scripts, and then not the attendee, excuse me, whoever purchases this offer will then see these upsells. Only the people who purchase end up seeing the upsells, and they go in this order. And then since these 3 are my paid tiers, they also include an all access pass. So we'll see up here, we've included the all access pass. So the all access pass unlocks the sessions and provides them with the on-demand videos, meaning they get to keep access to the summit even after the summit ends. Anybody in the other tiers or in a tier that doesn't have this, the sessions close and lock when appropriate, like when they are set. We've got sponsors created, our summit builder, of course. I showed you these incredible layout, the incredible build that my team did here inside of Virtual Summit software. This is just incredible. And again, you can do this too. What's also really cool about this, again, we're the only platform that allows you to really customize your pages to this level if you want. Our simplified theme builder is pretty amazing. And honestly, we're putting a lot more emphasis into that because it's just quicker and easier to do. But for those of you who like to build custom, you have this option. But we also have all of these, and you could build them custom by like selecting, a section and pulling that over there. We got pricing section. I mean, if you've used any kind of page builder, you're familiar with that. But we also have over 20 different Summit themes with over 50 different Summit templates for you to choose from. And I'll just let you know, where is it? Oh, right here. You actually have access to our Summit Talks, the original Summit Talks theme. You got the sales page and the thank you page, landing page, etc., all inside of here as well. So that's pretty cool because you have access to that. Now, again, I don't want to take away from our simplified theme builder because this is quick. This is easy. If you don't have a lot of experience with custom page building, or you don't have somebody on your team to do it, just use the simplified theme. I mean, like, these are just incredible. These are incredible pages, and it's all automatic. The Virtual Summit software pulls this immediately from the information you filled out inside of your summit, inside of the summit. So you don't have to build it out. Got our Summit affiliate dashboard here. There is those going right here. We've got our pending commissions, all commissions, et cetera, et cetera. So manage our teams. We've got our attendees, which we can check out in here. So we got some of our attendees. We can see, if anybody, we would see if anybody has, what they've purchased, any engagement that they've had will all show up there once the summit kicks off. So again, we've got our links here. I've put the link so if you want to check out the actual summit and see it in action, if you want to see Summit Talks in action, on the Virtual Summit software. Again, it's 100% built and run inside of Virtual Summit software. You can check that out. But yeah, I thought I would just walk you through our virtual summit that we have going on right now. It's kicking off. Today was our first day of promo, and it kicks off later this week. You can come join us over at Summit Talks. I'll post that link again for you. Actually, let me just go ahead and grab. Let's see. Let's just check out that landing page. Actually, I'll get you the real link. And then, yeah, you can check it out. So we're pretty excited about this. Be kicking off Summit Talks again, but also Virtual Summit software. We've got a pretty big announcement coming next week, which I'll save for next week. I tried to not show it off. We've been playing around with it. It's ready. It's pretty exciting. It's going to change the game. And it's going to change the game for our summit hosts, but it's also going to change the game if you want to speak on more summits. So get ready. We're going to announce it next week. We got a brand new mega feature launching next week. And again, it's going to change the game. So hopefully you're excited. Hopefully you'll come check that out. And if you have not been inside of Virtual Summit software yet, go check it out. You can get a full 15-day free trial, no billing information required. And yeah, it's pretty amazing. If you got any questions, let me know. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here and connect with my team. We got some stuff to do for Summit Talks. And just remember, I see a lot of people jumping in there and giving some information and saying hello, hello, hello. Nice to see you guys. Thanks for those comments. Check it out. Check out Summit Talks. Check out the Virtual Summit software. It is the quickest and easiest way to host a virtual summit, and look forward to seeing you all inside of there. So remember, your message matters, and the most powerful way to get that message out to the world is with a virtual summit. See you inside. Take care.